Welcome into Terrier Vision. I'm Kyle Matrician here with sophomore middle Danny Densford of the Wofford volleyball team. Danny, thanks for taking a moment and talking with us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
So we'll get into the season to this point. The Terriers are 12-12, 4-4 in the Southern Conference, having a pretty good year, maybe compared to your freshman season. So let's just talk about the year so far and how you think the team's been doing and how you think you've been developing from your freshman to your sophomore year.
Yeah, the team this year, we're really gelling. We have a really awesome dynamic. The new coaching change with an awesome coaching staff has been great for us. The mentality that they're bringing has really got everybody excited, and so I think that's shown in how we've been performing on the court. And I think that shows in me also. Just the way that our team is coming together has been influencing how I play also.
A couple big tournaments for you in the preseason. Jacksonville State, you were named to the All-Tournament team, and then at South Carolina, the Carolina Classic, you were named to the All-Tournament team. We'll get into one match in particular at Jacksonville State against Alcorn State, where you broke a school record by hitting 846 with 11 kills in a match. I mean, what can you remember from that match? I mean, if anything, or were you just kind of in a zone?
Yeah, it's kind of when you're in that zone, you don't really realize what you're doing. And honestly, I didn't know until after the game how I performed. Because when you're in that, you're in the moment, you're just trying to do what you can to help the team, to impact the team, and to get that win overall. So while it was going on, I had no idea. I mean, you know when you're getting the kills, you know you're feeling good, but you don't know. For me personally, I didn't know what my numbers were. So as far as specifics, I don't remember it. To me, it's just a game, and you play point by point, and it just ended up. That game was a good one for me. So.
And for some people at home that maybe don't know you as well, a 2014 Southern Conference All-Freshman team member, two-time Southern Conference Freshman of the Week during that season. We brought it up a little bit just earlier, but maybe can you get into the development or the change really of what's different for you this year as a sophomore as compared to your freshman season?
Yeah. So I think having those that experience last year, having those that being recognized really gave me the confidence. So I think that shows on the court this year. I am more confident in how I play, and I go out there and I know what I can do. I know that I've proved it to others, and right now it's just about performing and doing what I can do and having fun with it. And I know that I have learned. I know that I can perform, and I've taught myself that. I've taught my teams that, and I think that shows this year on the court is because I have a lot of confidence in my play.
Do you feel maybe as a sophomore that you've taken on a leadership role on this team? There's not a lot of upperclassmen on this team in the first place, 2 seniors, 1 junior, so the majority of this team is underclassmen. And the fact that you started every single match last season, 35 matches, and you've started every single match this season, so you've started the first 59 matches of your college career. Does that make you feel like you're in more of a position to be a leader on the court?
I think that puts me in a position for sure, because I think that I lead by example. I'm not obviously the most, I don't think, vocal leader, but I think what I've done, being on the court, being a part of every game, that does give me some credibility, and I think that means a lot to my teammates and how they view me as a player.
Well, you shouldn't give your vocal leadership as little credit as you're giving it. I've seen you on the court, and the celebrations that you put on the court are pretty awesome.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. I look at the pictures afterwards, I'm like, that's what I look like? I don't know, but it's a lot of fun, and we love it out there, and I think that shows.
And we'll get into something that you recently just declared your major here at Wofford. You told me about it last week. Why don't you get into your major a little bit and why you decided on your major?
Yeah, I am chose to be a humanities major with a business minor, and I did that because I want to work with nonprofit or for-profit organizations. So that was kind of my thought process through that, and I'm really excited to get to working on it and taking classes that'll contribute toward that. So,
what made you, or what influenced your decision into choosing to be a humanities major?
Well, I came in thinking business was the only avenue for me to go, and I talked with a couple of my professors, developed some relationships with them, and realized I didn't just want to take finance courses or sit behind a desk. I wanted to work with people, and I love to learn. And so having the ability with a humanities major to take courses in all sorts of different areas really appealed to me, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
And something that has to do with your major, something that you just said before, wanting to work with profits and nonprofit organizations. Why don't you talk about Spartanburg Hope a little bit and what it is and your involvement with Spartanburg Hope?
Yeah, so Spartanburg Hope is a local nonprofit organization that I just recently became a part of. We're starting it up here. The idea, I heard from it from Jessica Graham, senior libero here. She gave me a call one day and said, hey, there's this awesome organization. She had talked about it a lot before in Charleston Hope. She said, I want to bring it to Spartanburg, are you in? And I said, absolutely. And from that, it's been a whirlwind. We've had tons of work with it. But what we do is we work with Title I schools. And a Title I school is any school that a certain percentage is federally funded. So essentially, the majority of the kids will live below the poverty line. And so we, this year, have partnered up with one specific school in Spartanburg, Lone Oak Elementary, and we are working to give them a holiday season that will be unforgettable for them. So our goal is to provide a Christmas present for every student at Lone Oak. There's about a little under 400 students there. So that's what we're working on, and getting sponsors for that and making it all possible so that we can get a Christmas present for each of those kids, because they are so deserving.
So getting a Christmas present and donating that much time and that much effort toward this program, what goes into doing that? What are the steps that you and maybe the other leaders of Spartanburg Hope have to go through in order to make this all happen?
Well, we have 5 executive members, and the 5 of us meet pretty much every week, sometimes every other week, but we each have our own responsibilities of getting involved in the community, going out and talking to businesses, talking to teams, family groups of people to get them interested, to get them aware of what we're doing. We just last week, our signups went live, which is when on our website you could go and donate monetarily. You can commit to sponsoring a classroom, adopting a classroom. So you have to go through the logistics of that. We're in charge of making sure all that's up, making sure the word gets out, and making sure that we do, in fact, are accounting every student so that we will have a gift for each and every one of them. So it's a lot of work, a lot of time, but it's very rewarding, and we're really excited to see where it goes.
All right, Danny, and lastly, 3 home games for the Terriers this week, beginning Wednesday night against Presbyterian, and then 2 Southern Conference matches Friday and Saturday. You've got the non-conference match in the midweek, but really the primary focus for everybody is in the conference season. That's what really matters this time of year. Maybe talk about the Terriers' first half of conference play, 4-4, right in the middle of the pack, and what do you expect the second half of the conference season?
I'm really excited to see what we do, how we end up with the rest of the conference. I think that we have started really strong. We've got a couple really big wins for us that were real morale boosters. We proved to ourselves what we can do, and proved to some other people who didn't necessarily think we could accomplish what we've already accomplished. We dropped a few games that we wish that we wouldn't have, and we're hoping to split these series, and these next couple games, especially this weekend, are big for us with that. But like you said, we're in the middle of the pack, and the way the SoCon is this year, all the teams are pretty even, and it's all about who comes, who shows up to play that night. And so all we have to focus on is showing up every night, performing, playing clean, disciplined volleyball, and the wins will come. And I think that we have a good shot to do some pretty special things at the end of this season.
All right, Danny, well, we wish you and the team the best of luck this season.
Thank you very much.